Hello and welcome back to PopCornture.
Today we're going to be talking about PowerPoint.
Well, actually, Michael, you're wrong. In this episode, we'll dive into a common English dilemma, the difference between who and whom. Trust me, this one is a tricky one. Are you ready to learn the difference between these two pronouns? But before we get started, subscribe and click the bell for more videos. First of all, we will start by breaking down a short scene from the American TV series The Office. At the end of the video, you'll have 3 foolproof ways to spot the correct usage. Remember that along with this week's episode, we have created a free PDF worksheet, so don't forget to download it from the description below.
Let's get started, shall we?
Michael was supposed to give a PowerPoint tutorial, but let's just say he skipped the homework.
Yes, I forgot about Ryan's presentation, and yes, it would have been nice to do well with the first presentation that he'd given me.
The scene we're about to watch is a perfect example of how confusing this grammar point can be even for native speakers.
Who? Are you a fucking owl?
But first, let me introduce you to the topic. Who and whom are used to refer to people. For example, we use who to ask questions.
And you thought, who is that strange woman in Harvey's office?
Or in an indirect way.
Did you tell me you found them?
We also use them in relative clauses to provide more information about a person.
You can keep your gongs and your bongs for all the men to whom it matters so much.
Okay, enough about boring grammar. Let's spice things up with some real-life examples.
How long until you actually get this presentation ready?
Why don't you
Honest
do the
estimate.
presentation?
Because
I mean,
I don't
you
want-
know how to do
What
it.
I really want, honestly, Michael, is for you to know it so that you can communicate it to the people here, to your clients, to whomever.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's whoever, not whomever.
To whomever.
No, whomever is never actually right.
Okay, let's pause. Ryan confidently uses whomever, but Michael's got a point. Whom sounds a little bit posh, doesn't it? Is it even a real word?
Well, sometimes it's right.
Michael is right. It's a made-up word used to trick students.
No, actually, whomever is the formal version of the word. Obviously, it's a real word, but I don't know when to use it correctly.
Not a native speaker.
So many theories. Does anybody know when to use it?
It's whom when it's the object of the sentence and who when it's the subject.
That sounds right.
Well, it sounds right, but is it?
Actually, it is. Pam hit the nail on the head.
Ding, 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 bingo, guys.
Here's the scoop. Who is the subject of the sentence, the doer, and whom is the object, the receiver. Think of it this way. Who is like the superhero of the sentence doing the action, while whom is more of the sidekick that receives the action. Fun fact, the distinction between who and whom is fading in casual conversation. You'll hear it more in historical dramas like The Bridgertons or Downton Abbey.
To whom do I speak?
But not as much on the streets, so it is likely that you'll hear natives using who instead of whom, so don't stress yourself out if you use it incorrectly every now and then.
Hey, this doesn't matter, and I don't even care.
Are you sure, Ryan? Even if it is not that common in everyday spoken English, knowing the difference can help you sound more polished and confident in your communication. Plus, it's useful for writing, especially in formal contexts. So far, we know that who is a subject and whom is an object, but how did Ryan use it in the clip?
As an object.
Ryan used me as an object.
Is he right about that?
How did he use it again?
Let's look at our example to clear it out.
Was Ryan wanted Michael, the subject, to explain the computer system, the object,
Thank you.
to whomever, meaning us, the indirect object, which is the correct usage of the word.
No one asked you anything ever, so whomever's name is Toby, why don't you take a letter opener and stick it into your skull?
Hey!
Thank you, Toby. Let me explain it with 3 easy tricks that will solve all your confusion once and for all. An easy way to identify the subject and the object is this. Subject. Who is the doer of the action? In this case, who is going to explain the program?
My dear boy, who is working for whom here?
Direct object. What person or thing is going to receive an action? In this case, what is Michael going to explain? Indirect object. Who is going to be affected by the action? For whom is the explanation intended? Michael will explain the computer program to whomever. Most of the times, whom is used when there is a preposition like for, with, or to.
To whom it may concern.
And finally, the easiest way to check your answer is by asking a question. If the response uses a subject pronoun like he, she, I, or they, then you'll use who. If it uses an object pronoun like him, her, me, or them, you'll go with whom. For example, Michael will explain the program to whomever. To whom is Michael going to explain the program? To them. We wouldn't say to they. Who is explaining the system? He is, not him is. Let's test your knowledge, my fellow students. Are you ready? Question 1. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. You can find the answers with explanations in our worksheets in the description below. We're almost finishing, but let's recap one last time. Whom is the object of the sentence, the receiver, that normally goes with a preposition and can be changed for an object pronoun? Who is the subject, the doer, and can be changed for a subject pronoun in a sentence? Next time you're debating who versus whom, just remember, it's all about the role in the sentence. And don't worry if you slip up. Everyone does, even the folks at Dunder Mifflin. If you want to understand everything and speak English with confidence, all you have to do is subscribe and click the bell.